To all of you. One more morning here, West London Temple, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā, and we are continuing with Ch.24 explanations of the Ātmārāma verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining the Ātmārāma verse to Sanatana Goswami. Now, actually, yesterday we finished the explanation of the Ātmārāma verse. We're going to start a new part of the story. Okay? Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jai Śrī Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jai Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Ki, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki, Jai Jai Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakshadhat Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki, Jai. We are in the chapter 24, verse 314. I'll read again the 313 because it's a beautiful verse. This is from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, the translation is Lord Shiva saying, I may know Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, may know, and Vyasa may know or may not know the Śrīmad Bhagavatam. On the whole, the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana, can be learned only through devotional service, not by only material intelligent, speculative methods or imaginary comments. Jai. This is next verse. This is Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj speaking. Atashuni sanatana vismitahana stutikohe mahaprabhura charane dariya. After hearing all the explanations of all different meanings of the Ātmārāma verse, Sanatana Goswami was struck with wonder. He fell down at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and began to offer prayers. Shakshat Ishvara Tumi Vrajendra Nandana Tomara Nivase Sarva Veda Pravartana. Sanatana Goswami said, My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. All the Vedic literature are vibrated through your breathing. Tomi Bhakta Bhagavatera Tomi Jana Arta Thamavina Anya Janite Nahika Samarta. My dear Lord, you are the original speaker of the Bhagavatam. You, therefore, know its real import. But for you, no one can understand the confidential meaning of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Prabhu kohe kene koro amara stavana Bhagavatera swarupa kenena koro vicharana. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Why are you glorifying me personally? You should understand the transcendental position of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Why don't you consider this important point? Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vabu Sarvashraya Pratishloke Prati Akshare Nana Artakoya. Śrīmad Bhagavatam is as great as Krishna, the Supreme Lord and shelter of everything. In each and every verse of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, and in each and every syllable, there are various meanings. Prashnotare Bhagavate Karyache Nirdhara Yanhara Shravane Loke Lage Chamatkara. The form of Śrīmad Bhagavatam is given in questions and answers. Thus, the conclusion is established. By hearing these questions and answers, one is highly astonished. This is a verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmanye Dharma Varmani Swam Kashtam Abhunupete Dharmakam Sharanam Gattaha. Now that Shri Krishna, the Absolute Truth, the Master of the mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us by whom religion principles are presently protected. Okay, the purport for this verse. This verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam was a question raised by all the sages who were headed by Sonaka. This question put before the great devotee Sutta Goswami is the foremost of the 6 questions raised. The answer to this important question is given in the next verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. That is, Krishne sadhamupagate dharma jnana dibi saha kalo nashta drishtam isha puranarko dunaditaha. Translation of the verse. After Lord Krishna departed for his abode, along with religious principles and transcendental knowledge, this Purana, Śrīmad Bhagavatam, has arisen like the sun in the age of Kali to enlightening those who have no spiritual vision. Jai. Beautiful. This is... okay, next verse. E mata karilum ikashlokera vyakaina vatulera pralapakari kekore pramana. In this way, like a madman, I have explained the meaning of just one verse. I do not know who will take this as evidence. Amahena yebakeho vatula hoya eidrishte bhagavatera arta janaya. If one becomes a madman like me, he also understands the meaning of Śrīmad Bhagavatam by this process. Purna sanatana kohe yudidui kore Prabhu anya Lila Vaishnava smriti kori bhare. Folding his hand, Sanatana Goswami said, "My Lord, you ordered me to write a directory about the activities of the Vaishnavas. Muni nicha jati kichuna janon achara mon hoite kaiche hoya smriti parachara." I'm the most low-born person. I have no knowledge of good behavior. How it is possible for me to write authorized directions about Vaishnava activities? Shutrakori disha yadi koroha upadisha apane koroho yadi ridoye pravesha. Sanatana Goswami then requests the Lord, "Please personally tell me how I can write this difficult book about Vaishnava behavior. Please manifest yourself in my heart." Ta betara disha spuremo nichera ridaya ishvaratumi ye kaha karaha say siddhahoya. If you would please manifest yourself within my heart and personally direct me in writing this book, then, although I am low-born, I may hope to be able to write it. You can do this because you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead yourself, and whatever you direct is perfect. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking. Prabhu kohe ye karite kariba tumi mana Krishna say toma Karabesh Purana. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu replied, whatever you want to do, you will be able to do correctly by Lord Krishna's favor. He will manifest the real purport. This is a really interesting situation because we know that Sanatana Goswami is pure devotee, he's direct associate of Krishna, but he's putting himself in the lowest position and showing us the real behavior of a Vaishnava, because we shouldn't never consider ourselves like qualified. I know this, I know that. It's right the opposite. Srila Maharaj used to give this example to us. We have to empty ourselves, throw everything away that's inside of us, and to make a good recipient for the blessings, for the mercy of the Lord descend to us, then we can do something. We are just instruments in the hands of the Lord, in the hands of the Vaishnavas. This is a great position. In this position, we are safe. Otherwise, if you are not empty, if you are full of bad stuff, if you're full of, I am good, I am that, I know this, I know that, how can we receive the mercy of the Lord? This is really important behavior. And even Sanatana Goswami is showing us really the real and the practical example. And our duty is just to trying to get rid of the bad stuff that's inside of us. And even it's a hard situation, but the spiritual life is like this. Every one of us, we are carrying some good, some bad stuff inside of us. And sacrifice is necessary. Sacrifice is really necessary to keep us going in the right direction. And sacrifice, it's spiritual life. Sacrifice means love. Love is the thing that we want. We are looking for love. And we keep going like this. This is a beautiful purport by Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. He's saying, Sanatana Goswami was a pure devotee of Krishna. A pure devotee has no business other than serving Krishna. Consequently, Krishna is always ready to help him. This benediction was given by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, who was authorized to write Vaishnava Smriti. Sanatana Goswami was a pure devotee of the Lord, and though the blessings of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he was able to write the book perfectly. Okay, next verse, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu continues speaking. Tatapi eshu terashuna digdarashana sakarana liki ado guru ashayana. Because you asked me for a synopsis, please hear these few indications. In the beginning, one must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Guru Lakshana Shiksha Lakshana Donhara Parikshana Sevya Bhagavan Savamantra Vicharana. In your book, there should be the characteristic of the bona fide guru and the bona fide disciple. Then, before accepting a spiritual master, one can be assured of the spiritual master's position. Similarly, the spiritual master can be also assured of the disciple's position. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, should be described as the worshipable object, and you should consider the Bija mantra for the worship of Krishna, Rama, or other expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Long purport. Next verse. Mantra adhikari mantra siddhi adishodana diksha prata smriti kritya socha achamana. You should discuss the qualifications necessary for receiving a mantra, the perfection of the mantra, the purification of the mantra, initiation, morning duties, remembrance of the Supreme Lord, cleanliness, and washing the mouth and other parts of the body. Dantadhavana Snana Sandhyadi Vandana Guru Seva Urdhva Pundra Chakridi Dharanam. In the morning, one should regularly brush his teeth, take his bath, offering praise to the Lord, and offer obeisances to the spiritual master. One should render service to the spiritual master and paint one's body in 12 places with Urdhva Pundra Tilak. One should stamp the holy names of the Lord on his body, or one should stamp the symbols of the Lord, such as disc and club. Gopi Chandana Malyadriti Tulasi Aharana Vashrapita Griha Samskara Krishna Prabodhana. After this, you should describe how one should decorate his body with Gopi Chandana, wear neck beads, collect tulsi leaves from the tulsi tree, cleanse his cloth and the altar, cleanse one's own house or apartment, and go to the temple and ring the bell just to draw the attention of Lord Krishna. Panchasodasha Panchashat Upachare Artana Panchakala Punja Arati Krishnera Bhojana Shayana. Also, describe deity worship, wherein one should offer food to Krishna at least 5 times daily. One should, in due time, place Krishna on a bed. You should also describe the process for offering arati and the worship of the Lord according to the list of 5, 16, or 50 ingredients. Shri Murti Lakshana Arasa Lagrama Lakshana Krishna Kshetra Yatra Krishna Murti Darshanam. The characteristic of the deities should be discussed, as well the characteristic of the Shalagrama Shila. One should also discuss visiting the deities in the temple and touring holy places like Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwaraka. Nama Mahima Nama Parada Durevajana Vaishnava Lakshana Seva Paradha Kandana. One should glorify the holy name and carefully give up offenses when chanting the holy name. One should know the symptoms of a Vaishnava. One must give up or nullify all kinds of seva aparad, offenses in the deity worship. Shankajala Ganda Pushpa Dhupadi Lakshana Japashtuti Parikrama Dandavat Vadana Dandavat Vandana. The items of worship, such as water, conch shell, flowers, incense, and lamp, should be described. You should also mention chanting softly, offering prayers, circumambulating, and offering obeisances. All these should be carefully studied. I think this is going to be long, huh? No. Okay, I can read a bit more. We're almost in the end of the chapter. This is very interesting descriptions because basically we are doing this every day in the temple. Or we should do this in the temple. At least who is living in the temple. And of course, our masters, our gurus, they instruct us to do our house and our heart a temple also, and we should follow all these prescriptions in our house, because this helps us to keep our spiritual life alive, the flame inside of our heart alive. This is very good for us to follow all these descriptions. Anyway, next verse. Purushcharana Vidhi Krishna Prasada Bhojana Anivedita Tyaga Vaishnava Nindhadi Varjana. Other items to be considered are the method of performing Purashcharana, taking Krishna Prasad, giving up unoffered food, and not blaspheming the Lord's devotee. Sadhu Lakshana, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sevana, Ashatsanga Tyaga, Shri Bhagavat Shravana. One should know the symptoms of a devotee and how to associate with devotees. One should know how to satisfy the devotee by rendering service, and one should know how to give up the association of non-devotees. One should also regularly hear the recitation of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Dinakritya, Pakshakritya, Ekadashi Adi Vivarana, Mashakritya, Janmanashta, Miyadi Vidhi Vicharana. One should describe the ritualistic duties of every day, and you should describe the fortnightly duties, especially observing Ekadashi fast, which comes every fortnight. You should also describe the duties of every month, especially the observance of ceremonies like Janmashtami, Rama Navami, and Nishinha Chaturdasi. Nishinha Chaturdasi, Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Vamana Dwadashi, Rama Navami, and Nishinha Chaturdasi should be all observed. Esabe Vida Tyaga, Avidya Karana, Akarane Dosha Kaile, Bhaktira Lambana. You should recommend the avoidance of mixed Ekadashi and the performance of pure Ekadashi. You should also describe the fault in not observing this. You should be very careful as far as these items are concerned. If one is not careful, one will be negligent in executing devotional service. Avatra Pramana Dhibe Purana Vachana Shri Murti Vishnu Mandira Karana Lakshana. Whatever you say about Vaishnava behavior, the establishment of Vaishnava temples and deities and everything else should be supported by evidence from the Puranas. Samanya Sad Achara Ara Vaishnava Achara Kartavya Sabash Martavya Vahara. You should give general and specific descriptions of the behavior and activities of a Vaishnava. You should outline things that are to be done and things that are not to be done. All these should be described as regulations and etiquette. E Sankshepe Shutra Kahilum Digdarshana Yabetumi Likiba Krishna Karabesh Purana. I have thus given a synopsis of the Vaishnava regulative principles. I have given this in brief just to give you a little direction. When you write on this subject, Krishna will help you by spiritually awakening you. Eita Karilu Prabhura Snatane Prasada Yahara Shravane Chittera Kamre Avasanda. Thus, I have narrated the Lord Chaitanya's mercy upon Sanatana Goswami. When one hears these topics, one's heart will be cleansed of all contamination. Krishnadas Kaviraj speaking. Nijagrate Karnapura Vishtare Kariya Sanatane Prabhura Prasada Rakhyache Likya. The authorized poet Kavi Karnapura has written a book named Caitanya-caritāmṛta. This book tells how Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu blessed Sanatana Goswami with his specific mercy. This is a verse from Caitanya-caritāmṛta. This is a long Sanskrit verse. Okay, obeisance to the Sanskrit. I'll read the translation. Srila Sanatana Goswami, the elder brother of Srila Rupa Goswami, was a most important minister in the government of Hussain Saha, the ruler of Bengal, and he was considered a most brilliant gem in that assembly. He possessed all the opulences of a royal position, but he gave up everything to accept the youthful goddess of renunciation. Although he externally appeared to be a mendicant who had renounced everything, he was filled with the pleasure of devotional service within his heart. Thus, he can be compared to a deep lake covered with moss. He was the object of pleasure for all the devotees who knew the science of devotional service. Jai. As soon as Sanatana Goswami arrived in front of the Lord Chaitanya, the Lord, seeing him, became merciful to him. The Lord, who has the complexion of a golden champaka flower, opened his arms and embraced him while expressing great affection. In this course of time, the transcendental news of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan was almost lost. To enunciate explicitly those transcendental pastimes, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayag empowered Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami with the nectar of his mercy to carry out this work in Vrindavan. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj speaking. Eta karinu sanatane prabhura prashadam yahara shravane chitera kande avashadam. I have thus explained the mercy bestowed on Sanatana Goswami by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. If one hears this, all moroseness in the heart will diminish. Krishnera Swarupa Ganera Sakala Hoya Jnana Vidiraga Marge Sadhana Bhaktiravadhanam. By reading these instructions to Sanatana Goswami, one will become fully aware of Lord Krishna's various expansions and the process of devotional service according to regulative principles and spontaneous love. Thus, everything can be fully known. Krishna Prema Bhakti Rasa, Bhakti Rasidanta, Ihara Shavane Bhakta, Jannera Sabha Anta. By reading this chapter, a pure devotee can understand love of Krishna, the mellows of devotional service, and the conclusion of devotional service. Everyone can understand all the things and their ultimate end by studying this chapter. Shri Swarupa Raghunatha Pade Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Charana Yara Pranadana Seipaya Eidana. The conclusion of this chapter can be known at the one whose life and soul are the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kohe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring the mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta following in their footsteps. So, this is the end of the chapter, and we see the next chapter tomorrow. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. Okay. Hari Haraya? You or you? Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Hari Gopinath Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Śrī Advaita Chandra Guarded heart of Śrī Vasari Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakti-Rakuna Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rakuna Joy Gosai Kori Charana Jaha Hoite Munanas Joy Gosai Jara Mudi Tamada Asapara Pada Renu Mura Panchagra Adira Charana Sevi Bhakta Saniva Jana May Mora Ayavila Joy Gosai Jave Bharte Koilava Radha Krishna Nitya Jai Shri Guru Garanga Radha Giridhari Joki Jai Jai Shri Guru Garanga Gandharva Govinda Sudha Joki Jai Jai Om Vishripad Padamahamsa Padavarta Kachara Vari Asata Sata Shri Shivad Shri Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishripad Padamahamsa Padavarta Kachara Vari Asata Sata Shri Shivad Shri Bhakti Sunda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishripad Padamahamsa Padavarta Kachara Vari Asata Sata Shri Shivad Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishripad Shri Gaurika Shodas Babi Ji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishripad Siddhanta Satchidananda Shri Bhakti Ki Jai Jai Om Vichi Prashri Jagannath Das Papi Jim Jai Shri Rupa Bhaka Ki Jai Namachar Shri Hari Thakur Ki Jai Lord Char Shri Haiti Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nanda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Padadev Vijaybhusana Ki Jai Shri Vishwanastra Kapati Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivasa Acharya Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakti Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shri Goswamis of Vrindavan Ki Jai Sabha Sadhu Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Sabha Sadhu Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Swami Kund Radha Kund Giva Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Lakshmi Varaha Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Singadev Ki Jai Bhakti Prabhu Palab Maharaj Ki Jai Tosi Maharani Ki Jai Tosi Parakama Ki Jai Gantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ch.24 Ki Jai Ganka Janamarj Ki Jai Vishwa Vaishnava Vaishnava Ki Jai Argana Bhakti Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā Ki Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai Vishwa Vyāpita Ki Jai Ātmārāma Ki Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai Vrindavan Puruṣottam Dham Ki Jai Padadesa Ki Jai Jagannath Ki Jai Śrī Govinda Krim Ki Jai Śrī Sadashiva Gangadharaj Ki Jai Ki Jai Samveta Vaishnava Mandana Ki Jai Samveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai all devotees all over the world Ki Jai all the assembled devotees Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bo